In my third year, the Academy had announced that the Sinfonia, which is a chamber orchestra, we would audition for this orchestra for a tour of China and Japan, 3 weeks. I just thought I'd have a go. It was mostly for fourth years and postgrads, and I was just lucky. I got to play trumpet on this. We went firstly to China, and these were amazing trips with 2 very good hotels, lovely meals. We were making links with the Beijing Conservatoire and the Tokyo Conservatoire, and we had joint concerts with them and concerts on our own. And then we played in embassies in Tokyo and embassies in Beijing. The most amazing tour, and probably still my best tour to date. And of course, I met my wife on this tour, so it's all very big news. But it was such an event, and it highlighted, apart from me, the great standard of the Academy at the time going around the world.
Back in 2016, the Academy hosted a competition, Menuhin Competition, which is an international competition for young violinists, and we were able to provide the space and live stream the competition to around the world from YouTube and Facebook. I was in charge of that. It was the first baby that I was in charge of. It was a big deal for 2 weeks, and it consumed my life for 2 weeks, but it was so pleasing because everyone was excited to be able to view it and see it online and see it live as if they were in the space, so it was nice to be able to provide that. From then onwards, we were able to live stream other concerts, especially through the pandemic. The pandemic became, live stream became the do-all of the pandemic for us, because a lot of people weren't able to access music and go to concerts anymore because of the lockdown. And that all started because of the Menuhin.
One of the things that I set in motion when I was head of harp was a series of open days, because we used to have in-person open days, and also invite certain recital guest artists to come and do a recital at the end of our open day. And I was sitting on a session at Abbey Road with the principal harpist of the London Symphony Orchestra, and we were chatting about all this chamber music stuff and open days. And he said to me, Pierre Boulez wants to, desperate to do a class on the Debussy Sonata for flute, viola and harp. So I went straight to Jonathan and said, I think I can get Pierre Boulez to come and give a talk on this piece. Well, right at the last minute, so many people turned up, we had to move the whole thing into the Duke's Hall. And it was absolutely packed. And I got 3 sets of students to each play a movement. And between each one, he spoke and explained all the, what I call the dynamics, the tempo markings, how to interpret those. And it was like a light bulb going on, and we've never been the same since.
Another great figure in the Academy history was a man called Christopher Regan. If one needed to do anything unusual or extend a course, then it was he who one spoke to. So I remember going towards the end of my third year and asking if I could have an extension of the course. And he drew himself up and said, well, this is highly unusual. We only grant these sort of extensions to talented people. Okay. And then he sort of delved into the bottom left-hand drawer of his desk and fished out a sort of A5 size book, a black book with a white label on the front. And I just distinctly remember seeing in big bold capital letters, LMF. And it had an index, so I saw him go down the index to W and open that up and close it. Oh, that seems to be all right. And he put the book back in the desk. He retired from here to live in Tewkesbury, opposite Tewkesbury Abbey. I was invited to lunch there one day. And during the course of the afternoon, I said, Christopher, do you mind if I ask you something? "Oh, no," he said, "go ahead, what can I do for you?" When I asked for a course extension back in 1975 or thereabouts, that's a long time ago, I said, "Yes, but I remember you referring to a book that you fished out of your bottom drawer. It was a black book and it had a label on, LMF. I said, "Tell me, what did LMF stand for?" "Oh," he said, and he took great delight in me, "low model fibre."
In 2004, Elton asked if we would take our symphony orchestra on tour with him. So we did a tour of the UK. We went to Birmingham, we went to Wembley Arena, we did a concert at the Albert Hall with 100-piece orchestra and a choir. But then we got to go to New York, and I took my whole team with us. We had 50 students from the Academy, 50 from Juilliard for those dates, and we had 4 nights in Radio City, which was the most incredible experience. And then during the daytime, because in the States you're not allowed to rehearse every day, once you've done a show, you then just have a quick sound check and go on stage every night. We had every day free to also do all of the sights of New York. I had the most amazing experience, as did our students, who all got paid full professional rates.
There's quite a lot of pivotal memories. We had musicianship, which was a completely new idea to me. And there were 4 or 5 of us, and we were grouped together to learn the Kodaly methods of how to pitch different kinds of notes and to identify pitches. I have a very strong memory of standing in the crook of the piano and physically realising, sang a note, I won't sing it now, but physically realising what middle C was, because that was a completely alien concept to me, because I didn't play the piano. I didn't even know that it was the key that was in the middle of the piano. So I had no logic, no map to guide me, but I knew what this felt like and what a note felt like and how it resonated right through my body. I'm not talking about an amazing voice, but suddenly that sense of, here's something that I can use to provide some orientation in music. And actually what I'm hearing in my head links to what I'm feeling in my body. But it's that unity of mind, body, and really fun sensation that I remember that being switched on at that point in that room.
When I became principal in 2008, I had, of course, been vice principal for 13 years before. So there was a sort of feeling of, I was hugely surprised, actually. I had been given great encouragement to apply by the then chairman, Lord Burns. I did sense that there was, as the process went on, I actually thought to myself, I think I might be able to do this job. I was so devoted to the place, and I was devoted, as I still am, to my colleagues and wanting to do my best. I was in the vice principal's office, and the Duchess of Gloucester came past and said, "The chairman will come down and give you the news presently," without telling me. I sort of felt that she wouldn't have said that if it had been bad news. So anyway, Terry came down and offered me the job. What I do remember actually is when I did actually end up in this office, sitting in this chair, I did think, what's the first thing I should do as principal? And the first thing I did was ring up our most famous alum, who's Sir Elton John, who happened to be on the end of the line. So I remember having a conversation, and he came in a couple of weeks later, and we had a long chat about what he might do to help.